guys, just got off work a little bit ago, went and picked the truck up, had some rotor work and brake work done on it today, and thought I'd take it out for a little bit of a spin. Got the dogs in the back seat because they like to take rides. It gets them out of the house and gives them something else to think about, I guess. So we're just taking a little ride here. I'm sorry I don't have my tripod with me, so things may be a little shakier than normal. But I'm just gonna ride up to the cemetery today. I haven't been to Dad's grave in a while. Been a few weeks, and so I thought I would stop by there after I got off work today. So that's what we're doing. It's raining here in Kentucky, as you can see. It's kind of set in this afternoon. Heard some thunder earlier. So yeah, I think it's pretty much supposed to rain all this evening as well. And then I think it's supposed to get colder again maybe this weekend. So I'm not surprised. That's kind of the way it is in wintertime in Kentucky. You can have some warm days, some cold days. You can have some snow, ice, sleet, you name it. It can change pretty much by the day. So today we get rain. Tonight, more rain. And then I guess we'll see what tomorrow looks like. I haven't heard the weather for sure, so I'm not real sure what tomorrow's going to be, but I think it's supposed to be a little cooler, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, so we're just sitting here waiting on the light. As you can see, Lexi's back there, and Levi, I think, is right behind my seat, so I can't really see him very well. But he's back there looking out the window, I'm sure of that. He would rather be up front, but they get a little chaotic if they're up here. I'm trying to drive and what have you, so put them in the back seat. Getting the truck detailed tomorrow, so it's not going to matter too much if they get things a little bit muddy or wet today. Can't wait to get that done. Should make the truck look a lot better on the inside, outside, I hope. So we will see about that here tomorrow afternoon. Guys, I just wonder about, the country that we're living in. Not the country so much as those who are kind of in charge of running it. I know the last couple of years, for me personally, things have just kind of been on a downhill slide as far as the economy goes. Not been any real raises to speak of, but man, I've got a lot more expense than I had a couple of years ago. Groceries are still just ridiculous. Got notice, house payments going up $150 a month to cover, tax increases, insurance increases, but yet the pay doesn't seem to be keeping pace. So that is not where you want to live. Unfortunately, I think, most all of this really has been created by our politicians right now. They don't seem to understand that what they're doing is actually going to destroy this country and going to create a lot of hardship for its citizens. I mean, I live in a small town, and I can drive out any morning downtown, and there are people living there in the entryways to the stores, sleeping all night because they have nowhere to go. I saw a family this last week, or a few weeks ago, I guess, now that I think about it, living out of a hotel because they can't find anywhere they can afford to rent. Rent prices have just been crazy. We rented for a couple of years after we sold our house. That must have been like about 2020, probably during the pandemic. Yeah, I think it was. I think we had just moved before the pandemic stuff hit. We had just sold the house, moved into a townhouse. We were there a couple of years, and they raised that rent several $100s a month just in that amount of time. And now, it's so expensive, I don't see how any family could afford to live in. You would have to take in roommates or something. I mean, you're talking about well over $1,500 a month for an apartment that wasn't anything special or fancy. Matter of fact, it had quite a lot of age on it, and but that's the reality of the world that we live in right now. And then you look forward to the next election, and I don't know about you, but I foresee a lot of trouble no matter who wins the election. If the Democrats win, you're certainly going to see some Republicans are going to be very upset, wondering if they got a fair election or not, which, I have to wonder that myself. You certainly can't believe what the media tells you these days, because, basically the government and those in power own those guys. So, can't believe much what they say about the economy or anything else. And then if the Republicans win, I can imagine many of those who have supported the Democrats could very well take to the streets and start, destroying things. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen that happen. And so, it just doesn't look real positive in the next few years, at least. To be honest, I don't know what to make of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the politicians in Washington, both Republicans and Democrats, the majority of them are corrupt. The majority of them are there only, to be paid well by the special interest groups. I mean, how else does a politician come in, earning what they earn, and, just about all of them are millionaires, or a good majority of them are. So, I get annoyed with the Republicans, and that's the direction I tend to lean. Mostly because, they talk a lot about what's wrong with the country and, how the country's declined in the last several years. But at the same time, when they have opportunities to make changes, they don't seem like they can get it done. So I'm not too happy with them either. And I sure hate to see this country just fall apart. I'm afraid that we might be looking at something like that if things don't radically change in Washington, and if we can't be assured that we're getting fair and unbiased elections. I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. For certain, we taking a little bit of a side road here. For certain, I think one of the best things we can do is just continue to pray for the country. God is the one that really can turn the tide of things, but He's also looking for people to recognize that they're sinners in need of a Savior. You can't just stay in rebellion against God and think things are going to work out well for you. It just doesn't happen that way. I mean, no matter what your religious beliefs are, and you're welcome to believe what you'd like, but I certainly believe that there is a God and that He is sovereign over this world. And so if this culture and this country continues to rebel against Him and His ways, I just things aren't going to get better. I think He's trying to get our attention, and unfortunately it doesn't seem to be working too well. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents worth about that. And I know not everybody's going to agree with that, and that's fine. Like I said, it's a free country so far, so believe what you want. But that's kind of my perspective on things. And it is worrisome. I don't have kids, but I can't even imagine worrying about kids and grandkids. I know some people have talked about that on some of the night channels already, and I get it. I totally get it. let's see here. You know, I hope this loops out here. I don't know if I've ever tried to go this way. If not, we might get to do some backtracking here. That truck's running pretty well. It's had a valve cover replaced, and oops, there's my turn. Slow down, Brian. And there was another seal that was leaking on the top side of the motor that got replaced. And, you know, oil changes, all the things like that have been done the last few weeks as well. So, trying to catch up on a lot of the maintenance that it needed. My dad was great in a lot of things, but he was not very proactive when it kind of come to his vehicles and things like that. So, playing a little bit of catch up here. Definitely going to need a set of tires, you know, sooner than later. Definitely going to need an alignment when that happens as well. But here's the entrance to Camp Nelson Cemetery. I don't know that I've taken you guys out here yet. But it's a beautiful place. It's amazing just how many graves are here, though. When you start driving around, and it's amazing just how many people have been buried on either side of my dad since he passed away. It's kind of crazy. Let's see, they've opened this road up now so I can go a different way than I used to have to go. There's one of the shelters where they have funerals right there. And you can see right here they're going to do some expansion here. I guess they're pretty much out of space in the plots they have now here in the cemetery. There's another shelter down there where they again have funerals. So Dad is back in this new section here. So we're just cruising back this way. He is right in this area right here. I have to look for his stone every time because it's like it moves is because they're adding stones all around him. So yeah, so I'm going to step out, make a quick visit here, and I'll be right back. So yeah, there's Dad's grave. My stepmom brought some new flowers and put on it just this past week. Prior to his birthday and my birthday on the 20th. But I sure do miss him. Celebrate my first birthday ever without him this year. And so that was different. And I'm sure that's going to be hard for some time to come. But yeah, take a look at all these graves. It's just since September, the majority of these are all new. Sorry, a little kind of nuts, isn't it? All right, be right back with you. All right, so I'm gonna go down here and turn around and head back out. I'm sure the video's terrible quality, guys. Sorry, just doing the best I can here. There's a mausoleum. I guess they call that the columbarium or something. These were here even before they opened the graves up on this side. So. They have several of those available right now, and not sure how much property they own here, but they seem to be expanding. All that fencing I know is new. quite a lot of fencing when you look at it. But you know, they took good care of this place for sure. That's one thing the VA does right. Didn't have the best experience with them when Dad was sick, but they do manage this cemetery, and I'm assuming that's all the national cemeteries they're in charge of. Making our way back out here. We were up here just before Christmas, and they do a thing called Wreaths Across America, where they have volunteers come and place wreaths on each of the stones here in the cemetery. So you can imagine it takes quite a few volunteers to get that done. So we had a great time coming as a family and doing that this last year. You know, Dad died in September, and that was in early, I think it was early December. And so we're gonna make that a family outing every year, I think, to make sure we can come up and participate in that. Nobody here today, but you know, it's not the best weather. I do know there are some folks that they say come up here every day, especially spouses. See their husbands, mostly, who have already passed. Although there's a fair number of spouses buried here as well, depending on who the veteran was in the, you know, in that marriage. So, just heading back home now. Just thought we'd take a little ride and just share a few thoughts. Real excited to have my dad's truck. Talked about that a couple of times, but hopefully I'll get to enjoy it for a number of years. I can certainly use the practicality of it, being able to haul things. When you own a house, that's pretty darn handy. And so just been trying to get it up to snuff, trying to get all the maintenance done that needs done, and repairs made that need to be made. Hopefully, you know, I can get some tires on it sometime, maybe this spring, if all goes well. But I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you are looking forward to the weekend, and maybe the weather where you are is better than what it is here in Kentucky right now. So the one good thing is it's not terribly cold. It's a little cooler today than it has been. I guess after the rain moved through, it lowered the temperature quite a bit. So it's a little bit chillier. I think it's going to be colder again, but who knows what it may be like next week. Just have to hide and watch, I guess. All right, guys, that's it for now. Take care. God bless you. See you in the next video.